Hello, everybody. Hi, everyone. Welcome in. Hi, Kathy, Pamela, Nadia, Jan, Regina's here. How are you all doing, guys? Hi, John. Welcome in. So, I hope you can hear me okay. I scheduled this live, so I hope it's working okay. You can hear me and see me okay. Didn't work the last time, but I think it's okay this time, hopefully. Good. You can hear me. Thanks, Kathy. You can see me. So, just going to talk about a few things that's coming up and stuff like that. We're going away tomorrow. Hi, Edward. Sonia. Hi, Sonia. Hi, Mo. Hope you're keeping okay. Hi, Krista. Um, Maureen. Mo with $20 super chat. Mo, thanks very much. I appreciate it. Super chat. So, hi, Toms. We'll wait for a few people probably to come in and see who's coming in. Hi, I got back from doctor my meds checkup. I hope everything went okay, Jamie. Back from hospital, says Sonia. Glad to catch you today. Thanks, Sonia. So basically, we are going away tomorrow for a night. It's going to be about 3.5 hours, maybe, of a journey we're going. It's a good bit away. So we have some very interesting videos coming up probably during the week, the both of us. So it's something to look into and keep an eye out for the videos that's coming up and stuff because they will be very, very interesting. Old graveyards and stuff like that, not to be missed. Probably a couple of mausoleums and crypts thrown in there as well. So we've never been here before. It's something we're going to enjoy. Tom's daughter. Thank you, Tom's daughter, for the super chat. Thank you so much. Super chat. Jamie's here. Who else is here? I don't want to miss anyone. Tizzy Dawn. Hi, Tizzy Dawn. Scouse is here. Evening, Scouse. Hope you're all keeping well, guys. You're having a good day. The weather is picking up here a bit. I think tomorrow is supposed to be getting a bit brighter again. So we'll be traveling tomorrow. As I was saying, very long journey, over 3 hours away. So we're going to have to stay overnight. So we had to book somewhere to stay for tomorrow night. So we have something sorted for that. We're going to spend the whole day tomorrow just doing videos, going to different locations, stuff like that. A couple of stories, could be a crime one, a crime story thrown in there as well from myself, and history, lots of stuff. There's a grave there as well that I'll be doing. It's connected to America also. So some very interesting stuff coming up. Kimmy CN67. Hi Kimmy. Hi GV. It's cold as here in Orange, New South Wales, Australia. Wow. Welcome. Hello here from Ireland. So if you have any questions, guys, go ahead, ask me questions about past videos, or I hope you enjoyed the other video I did as well about the guy that done the recording at his funeral. Very, very interesting. Funny and sad at the same time, but he had a lot of humor, that guy. Jamie Leiberg, $10 super chat. Use this on you and Sue's pub trip and drinks. Thank you. Jamie, thank you so much. But I'll just hit that. Hi, Trisha Mills from Alabama, USA. Yeah, so that's the plan for tomorrow. I liked his humour, as Chris did, was sad but funny. Yeah, it was. The guy, now the only information I have on that guy that did the recording at his funeral was he was involved in the army. He was in the army, I think, and he died. He had a long illness, and sadly he passed away. But he had this planned because he obviously, I suppose, knew that his time was coming up and he was going to pass away. So he got this recording done, and he wanted this played. That was his wish at the day of his burial. So it was kind of nice to see that he had a bit of humor, and that people around the gravesite had a bit of a laugh, as if to say, this is him, this is what he wanted, and this is the way he went out. He didn't want, I suppose, people. I'm sure when he was alive, he was probably telling people, you know, the day of my funeral, I don't want all you people to be standing around my grave and crying and stuff like that, and to be sad. I want to celebrate my life and celebrate, who he was. So I thought it was very interesting. And the other video as well, I hope you enjoyed that one, about the old tradition of the burial. When they took the coffin on the horse and cart, and they took it up through the field for burial as well. Very nice to see that in this day and age. Now, I'm not sure where that was. Some people have asked me, did I video that? I didn't video that. It's another person that videoed it. So it was very interesting to see that how they do the tradition of the burial. Old fashioned, and I think that could have been his wife, the old woman that was sitting on the side of the cart that was going through the field. On it, she was sitting on the side of it, and she had her hand on the coffin and stuff like that. So it was nice that they went out in style and stuff like that. And us, Tarab, I was just going to mention the traditional Irish burial. Thanks. Yeah, I said I'd bring it up and see what your opinion of it was and what you thought about it and stuff like that. It was something different. I wanted to show you something a bit different on the tradition in Ireland as well. Trisha Mills, thank you so much. You're just unreal, guys, with the $20 super chat. Thank you. Super chat. So, as I was saying, the journey is going to be long tomorrow. It's going to be worth it. We've looked up a couple of places. We've picked out what we're going to do. A lot of history behind the videos we're going to do. There's very unusual ones. I don't want to give too much away, but there's going to be one for me that's going to be, it's strange. It's a bit different, but it's something to look out for. It's going to be a good video. It's about a young girl that died and her body was incorrupt, and her body never decayed. So, and her gravesite, I will be visiting her gravesite and telling you the story about that girl also. So, and she was made, I think, a saint. So her body was incorrupt. Very, very interesting. Mo says, cannot wait to see it, GV and Sue. Great. Dr. Pepper for video. Dr. Pepper. I've no Dr. Pepper today, Mo. I'd like to know, is it common in Ireland to play the pipe at a funeral? I only know that from Scotland, says Sonia. Well, I do know, Sonia, that they do play the pipes at certain occasions, like funerals. Like, say, if there was a funeral that, say, a military, say, a funeral or something like that, there could be pipes played at it. I do know that the pipes are played a lot at old, years ago, and maybe still to this day, they play the pipes at funerals, like say Republicans, like from the Irish Republican Army, freedom fighters, stuff like that. If somebody passed away, they do play the pipes in honor of that person. So yeah, they do kind of still play the pipes every now and again at certain places and funerals and stuff. And the drums as well, yeah, Mo. They do play the drums and the bagpipe. I love the bagpipes. The other instrument I like the sound of is the panpipes, and I think the panpipes are played a lot by. You have these traditional style like Indians, going back as far as the Indians. The Native Americans, and they play the panpipes and stuff. And I love the sound of those panpipes. They're really nice. Sonia says, I know that what the Republicans are. I am very much into Irish history. Yeah, I recently actually visited a grave there in Thomastown in Kilkenny. One of my videos there I'd done the other day, and I was at the grave of that Mullins guy who was shot by British forces and in an ambush. And it was a lovely inscription on the back of his grave, and lovely words on it there as well, and stuff like that. Going back a lot about fighting for your country and stuff. So it's nice to see that other people have their opinions about it. Like I don't know if you've seen it on the community page, but I had one subscriber who was just being silly, who came up and commented and said he was a terrorist. This guy's grave I did. He was a terrorist. Now, I don't go to graves, to make opinions or judge people about whatever the past is. I just go and I vlog the grave, I pay my respects, and I tell the story about whatever happened to that person in the past, and it's not like, I'm there to judge anybody, but as I always say, you let the dead rest in peace. The dead aren't there to defend themselves as such, I suppose. They're not there to protect their themselves, their identity or whatever. They're dead. They can't talk. So I don't think it's right that people talk about the dead when they're not there. Stand up for themselves. I think it's done more in Scotland, says Ostreb. Thank you for your explanation of Republicans' call, as many aren't aware of the history. Yeah, it goes back a long way. There's so many stories, that I have in mind that I'm trying to. Hi, Dorothy, if I missed anyone. Who else is there? Chris. Hi, Chris Peterson. Uh, Krista says, being American, living in Ireland, it is nice to see the difference in funerals and weddings. For example, the toast of a drink for the man at a pub before the wedding. I like the idea of the wake at home. It's been going on for centuries, people having their wakes at home and stuff. Sonia says, I know who should have kept their fingers, guns and soldiers out of Ireland. Well, it's kind of a thing. It's the old saying, Jamie says, if you die twice, once you die, and then the last time someone says your name. Well, it's nice to stand at somebody's grave. I think I mentioned their name. Hi, Kimmy, you're there. Who else? I'm just going through the names. Marie Green. Hi, Marie. So it's nice to stand up there and talk about somebody that's dead, and remember them, because I don't know a lot of these people and their graves. Do they get visited or talked about, these people and stuff? And it's nice. I don't do these graves to, as I say, to be judgmental. It's all part of history, and every time I go into a cemetery or an old graveyard, I learn something new all the time. I learn, it's like school to me. You go into an old graveyard and cemetery and you read a headstone, the inscription, you go, wow, what did I find? I didn't think I was going to find this today. And you learn something about that every day. It's better than it's a great education to these videos to learn something all the time, and that's the way they are. The stories, that I had in mind, there was one there going back a while, and but when I do videos, I like to have a photograph of the person, and sometimes it's very hard to find. And I know, hi, Linda Ball is here, Trisha. So I like to find a photograph, and Linda Ball is great for that. She can come across sometimes for stuff that I can't find, so she's great. Help. Chris Peterson, at the moment, is a great help as well. Very good to have on the channel. Hi, Tony. Chris at the moment, guys, needs a big thumbs up as well, and Linda, because Chris at the moment, what he's doing is he's going on to Find the Graves, and anybody who doesn't have a bio under Find the Grave, he puts in their photograph and a bit of a story about them as well, like a bio. So he fills in the information about the famous actors, stuff like that. So he's great for that, Chris, at the moment. He done there recently an actor's grave that's buried in Wexford. Now, I was thinking about maybe trying to cover it sometime, but he filled in the bio and stuff. So Chris is great at that, and Linda also as well. So thumbs up for doing that. There's a grave actually at the moment as well in Dublin. It's in Mount Jerome, and I'm hoping to get up there sometime and cover that one, because he's in an unmarked grave. He was a well-known actor, and he was in Scrooge, and he played the ghost of the Christmas past. Michael Dolan, his name was. He was a very famous actor. He was in a couple of old movies back in the 1950s and stuff like that. And he was buried in Mount Jerome Cemetery in Dublin, but he's in an unmarked grave, which doesn't even have a cross or a headstone or nothing like that. So myself and Chris were talking recently about that, texting each other and talking about it, and we were just trying to come up with something, maybe that if we could try to come together. And maybe what I want to do first is find out about his family. He has daughters, I think, that are still alive. But now, sometimes people have wishes when they die that they want to be in an unmarked grave. They don't want a headstone and stuff, and that's their wishes. So I have to find out first what's the story behind it, and see. Sheila, thank you so much with the $2 super chat. Sheila, thank you. It helps a lot. Super chat. Michael Dolan needs a headstone, Chris was saying there as well. So what we were thinking of doing, myself and Chris, is coming together, and all you guys, if you're interested, was setting up, as you know, the old one I was trying to do, Clonnatin, the old famine graveyard. I've been on to those people umpteen times, phone calls, emails, everything, and these people just don't seem to come back to me. They're not interested, and I think it's an awful shame that they don't try to take my offer and our offer as a group here to contribute towards the graveyard and help clean it up in some way. There's all these different excuses to have. We can't do this, we can't do that. We have to go through the national history thing before we get permission to do stuff and all that. So it's a big mix up there at the moment, trying to get something done with that. So at the moment, I'm not going to try to go into that at the moment. Now, the only thing is, Chris was telling me about Michael Dolan's grave is in Mount Jerome, which is a very old historic cemetery in Dublin, and myself and Sue have done videos there before. So I'm going to get in contact with cemetery staff at Mount Jerome when I'm up in that area and see, can I talk to them and find out what's the reason why Michael Dolan, being such a well-known actor back in the day in the 50s and stuff, why he doesn't have a marker. And even if it's only a small little stone or even a bench with his name on it, with you know, when he was born and the date he died, and maybe something like actor written on it. Because at the end of the day, he was a well-known man, you know. We all know Scrooge. You know what a super movie that was, Scrooge, and the Ghost of the Christmas Past, and you know all those great memories from it. Hi, Karen. Hi, Penny. So Dorothy's there. I just don't want to miss anyone, guys, because the chat is kind of going. So you know, um, there's a lot of actors in Ireland, you know, that starred in America and stuff like that, and they're buried in graves and they're kind of forgotten about. And it's sad to think that they're forgotten about, you know, because having so much stardom and stuff like that, and then to be forgotten, you know, and not even have a marker. So the situation is, as I say, everybody, yeah, I'll have to look into it first to see, because I don't want to go up there and me and Chris and you know Linda, we probably, if she wants to, she can get in on this as well and we'll get some information. But I don't want to go up there saying, oh, let's get a stone or a marker for Michael Dolan, when actually his wishes were that he didn't want a stone in the first place. So you know, he might have had different religion. I'm not sure, was he Catholic or what? You know, different religions have their own wishes where they don't want to be marked their grave and stuff. You know, they have their own way of dealing with their wishes when their time comes and stuff. I'm surprised how many have just a regular marker, says Linda. Yeah, you know, I suppose it depends on the person's um, outlook and how they were in life as well. You know, a lot of these famous people are very down to earth as well. You know, they're not up in the air. They're not big in themselves. They're very down to earth people, I suppose. And you know, they're like everybody else in their own mind. They're just a human being. So yeah, maybe it could be Irish pagan or something like that. Now I'm not sure. Maybe does Chris? Do you know, Chris? What was his religion, Michael Dolan? I'm not sure. But I'm sure if he was born in Ireland, he could have probably came from a Catholic background. You know, his parents were Catholic, I'd imagine. His daughter and wife are also buried with him. Now, see, that makes it even more interesting, because if there's no marker, he died in 1954 and his daughter died in 2006, so who knows? So if his daughter and wife are buried there also and there's still no marker, um, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? If there's three members of the family there and there's still no marker, it does kind of sound like at the moment maybe it wasn't their wish that they didn't want a marker there. Now I do know in the United States there's certain famous people who who didn't want their graves marked when they were buried. So it could be for a lot of reasons, you know, in this day and age as well. You have a lot of people who, like ourselves, YouTubers, who want to come along and maybe do a video of the grave. So maybe the family decided as well that they didn't want any marker there because they didn't want too much attention brought to the grave site and stuff. So they're in unmarked graves. I will be buried, Sonia says, in an unmarked grave in some beautiful forest, and some of my works are in international museums. So I understand that you will look into it before you take action. Yeah, there's a lot of people. There's a cemetery that's suited actually here. It's a beautiful natural burial ground, and there's a lot of that going on at the moment in Ireland. And it's in the last couple of years only, I think, people have decided to be buried in natural burial grounds, you know, and they're lovely places also as well, the natural burial grounds. Hi, Dan, welcome in. Many actors, Chris says, actors unmarked in Hollywood as well as some have forgotten stones just in the past few years. I believe What You Call It has an unmarked grave also. Maybe I'm wrong, you can correct me on that. Is it Roy Orbison when he passed away? had an unmarked grave also, because I think I seen somebody did a video on Roy Orbison's location of where he might be buried. I think he was in an unmarked grave, Roy Orbison, the singer, as well. Who's there? Tony says hello to all. I am working and listening at the same time. Hi David, welcome to N. Roy Orbison, yeah, he does at Westwood Cemetery, Chris. Yeah, I was thinking that he had an unmarked one. It's just something, I suppose, that they go by. You know, Steve Jobs, Tony says, has an unmarked grave as well. So it's probably just their wish, you know, that they don't want to be noticed, and they want, you know, only their families know. But you wonder how people on YouTube actually find the location, because they're able to point out the area even now and say, I believe that this is his location, this is where he's buried, even though there's not a marker there. So, you know, there's a lot of inside information going on in YouTube where people get the word, I suppose you'd say, of where he might be buried. We're going south, Dead Good Walks. It's about 3.5 hours of a journey, so I don't want to say really where we're going, because I don't want to give away too much of what we're doing. It'll be a surprise. It'll be well worth watching. A couple of very interesting videos coming up. Many famous people's graves have been ransacked. Yeah, famous ones, and even people that's not famous have been, you know, destroyed as well, graves and spray paint and stuff like that. We see it all the time. Mount Jerome should have that information, relatives' names, but I don't know for sure. Yeah, you know, you go into, you know, it's like this, Chris. I can ask at the cemetery, they might just tell me, mind my own business, basically. You know, unless you're a family member, they're not going to give out too much information. Now, we do know the area of where Michael Dolan's grave is, where he's buried. But, you know me, guys, I would get in anywhere, you know, locations, stuff like that. I talk the talk, I do the best I can, and I'll try and get as much information as I can. I'll go in and talk my way around them or something like that, like we usually do. But hopefully we can find a bit more information on why Michael Dolan's grave is unmarked, and it would be nice to put something there, maybe do a before and after video, and you know, it's for future people as well that go into Mount Jerome, you know. And Chris, then, you know, if the stone comes about, we get the stone for his grave, or we get even like a seat, I was saying, like a bench as a marker. It's for future people that want to go in and find the grave that where Chris has put the information in for his grave, and then we can finally put a photograph in there of his marker as well, so he's not forgotten, and people can go and visit his grave properly and know where his grave is. Jim Morrison's grave has been wrecked by fans, has it? I haven't actually seen anything about that now, Chris. I do know he gets thousands of fans going to his grave in Paris. So I didn't know they were destroying the grave, which is a bit silly. But there's people out there like that have no respect for the dead and grave sites and stuff like that. Oh, the Sonia, yeah, the Laurel and Hardy Hotel. That was in Dunleary, I think. Was it Dunleary we were in? The big hotel. I went inside that day and Sue was doing a live, and I said, I'm going in there to find out what's going on. So I walked up to the desk and I found out some information. The guy that works behind the reception even printed out information for me and was telling me a bit about Laurel and Hardy when they stayed there, and Queen Victoria. A load of famous people stayed in that hotel. We were supposed to get back to the hotel. They actually emailed me. I have the email, and I will show it to you. Somebody actually put it on the community page. They actually emailed me back about that hotel and told me there was no dates available. I think it was the 13th of May we were supposed to stay there. Was the day of my birthday. We were going to go there and try and stay in the same room as Laurel and Hardy stayed in, and maybe do a bit of a spirit box or necrophonic there in the hotel to see could you pick up something interesting as well, but we never got back to it. But it's something that's on the cards. It's, that we're not going to say no. We'll go back and try again. Leaving garbage and stuff, yeah, always happens. I had such a laugh, Sonia, when Sue was waiting for you, so upset, yeah, because she thought, I suppose, when I went in, because it said on the gate, it said residents only and private grounds and stuff. And I was thinking to myself, it's a hotel. It can't be that private, like I'm just going to walk up to the door, walked in, seen this beautiful staircase from the 1800s and said, I have to go in and find out something here. Or even, I done a little video of the staircase and took a couple of photographs. I asked the guy, that worked there, is it okay to go into the bar area and take a couple of photos? He said, yeah, no problem at all, work away. Osterab says, have you gone into any graveyards up north, Belfast, Derry? Not yet, Osterab, but I'm hoping to get up there as well. Now, Dublin is so near Belfast, so the idea would be there, I suppose, if we're going to Mount Jerome to cover a story or more there, we could go from Dublin, hopefully, on to Belfast, probably the same day, and cover Belfast. There is a couple of places in Belfast I want to cover. One of those being, I'd like to do George Best, the footballer. He's grave, very famous footballer who played for Manchester United. I'd love to do his grave, George Best. There's a couple of stuff. There's very interesting stuff up there. There's the mausoleum from the Andrews Mausoleum, connecting there to the Titanic and stuff like that. There's a lot of history up the north of Ireland, Belfast. So there's a couple of stuff I'd like to do there. The both of us would like to do. Chris says, I never heard back from River Chapel about Jerry Sullivan, so I don't know what the story is. So Jerry Sullivan, that you brought it up, was another actor that's buried in County Wexford. So I'm going to have to write down all these names and different actors and places that I want to do, because they'll go out of my head again. So I need to take notes of all those as well. But Jerry Sullivan, I read a bit about Jerry Sullivan, Chris, and he was in, not Jerry Sullivan, sorry, Michael Dolan was in Hornblower as well, and I never knew that. And he starred alongside Gregory Peck, Michael Dolan also. So there's another big name in Hollywood as well, Gregory Peck, that Michael Dolan, I think, acted alongside there also. George Best, Karen, yeah. I'm a big fan of George Best, even though I'm a Liverpool fan, but that doesn't make a difference, because I was always a fan, I'm a football fan, and I was always a fan of George Best. I think his life was very, very intriguing and interesting, the life he led. Sadly, he passed away, kidney failure, or liver kidney failure. I think he had transplants and stuff like that didn't go well, but he had his demons too in life and stuff. But very interesting man, George Best, and I'm a big fan of George Best. Very, very talented man. Unfortunately, alcohol took over his life, and it's a terrible disease and a terrible addiction, and it was such a waste of talent. Marie says, I met his son. So you met Callum Best. I'd say you were in your element, Marie, because a lot of girls like Callum Best. They always follow him around. I think he was in Galway one time. He used to go to a lot of nightclubs and stuff like that as a special guest and do a couple of special appearances here and there, Callum. But I don't know what he's doing at the moment. He was in something like Love Island thing or some program he had as well, but he never followed, unfortunately, in his dad's footsteps. He didn't play any football, I don't think, himself. Doesn't matter that he played for Extra Time United. He was a great player on and off the pitch. He was a brilliant player, yeah. I watched a couple of interviews with him. there was one interview I think was very funny. I think he was on. I can't think of the name of the program. The guy, he's dead now as well. He done an interview in his program. He came on. I think he was a bit under the weather. He had a couple of drinks taken when he came on to do the interview, but it was very funny. And he was such a humorous guy as well, George Best. Liver failure, yeah, he died of liver failure. High Purple Sky. Has Sue put the new camera to use? Yes, looks interesting. We'll be doing that tomorrow, Kimmy. She'll be taking her new tie with her tomorrow. So we'll be getting up close and personal with a couple of crypts and balls, I'd say, tomorrow. And hopefully we'll get to see some very interesting stuff on our journey tomorrow. So it's going to come in handy, and it'll be interesting to see, just to get that closer to stuff and see them. John says, hockey fan, New York Rangers. Terry Wogan, Chris. Yeah, it was Terry Wogan. I always look at that clip on YouTube, and it's so funny when he walks out and he comes out, and George Best, I think he says something funny, like he had half a gallon of alcohol drink, he said, or something like that. And George Best starts messing, and Terry Wogan turns around and he said, ladies and gentlemen, George Best. And he starts laughing. So, very, very funny guy he was, you know. And he also played in the United States, George Best, as well. He played for San Jose Earthquakes, another a team in the American League, San Jose Earthquakes. He played with those for a number of months, or maybe more, a year or more, I think. I'm not sure. Very hilarious, Chris. Yeah. Hope you don't mind, but I'm going to lay down. I'm not feeling well myself. Okay, Linda, take it easy and get well soon. I hope you get better. Can't wait for you, Karen, to use the Wrigley camera. I'm a Rochdale AFC fan. I don't know what league they're in, Karen. Rochdale. Is that the English league? Is that the second division or something like that? Rochdale. I've heard of Rochdale. Headaches, yeah, headaches are a terrible thing. I hope you get better, Linda. Take a painkiller. Migraines, terrible things to get migraines. David Mack is here in the house. Hi, David Mack. And David, I think, must be a new subscriber to the channel, so you're very welcome, David. I don't think I've seen your name before. You're welcome into the group. We've got a good family here on the channel. We all get along very well, and it's nice to have you in. And I hope you enjoy the upcoming videos and whatever other videos I have up, videos as well. I subscribed a few weeks ago, mate. Thanks, David. So there's loads of stuff. I've loads of videos up from the past. I don't know if you've seen them, David, but I have stuff up from London, Highgate Cemetery, Brompton Cemetery, Kensal Green, catacombs in London and stuff like that I've done as well. And don't forget, guys, if you want to share my videos on social media, Facebook or stuff like that, it helps the channel out a lot. And, you know, don't forget to hit the thumbs up as well. The thumbs up in the videos, very important. It puts the channel out there and it helps the channel to grow also. Dorothy says, you're not meant to be packing, GV. Or is Dorothy, I'll be packing soon enough, I'd say now. So I just came on there for a while to say hello and catch up and tell you what's going on. English League too, I thought that, Karen, yeah. I'll be packing my leather pants and my leather waistcoat and stuff like that. For anyone that gets the joke, you know what I mean. The leather pants. Tom feels like taking my eyes out. Do you have them too? Just hanging out, getting chemo, purple sky. I have 4 hours of sitting here. Best of luck, purple sky, with that, and my prayers are with you. The weather, Mo, at the moment is a bit overcast today, but the sun comes out and bursts every now and again, so it's still warm. It's not wet, that's the main thing. We're promised good weather, I think, for the rest of the week and the weekend and stuff like that. So hopefully we will get something, a couple of days of fine weather, so we can get these videos done and uploaded and stuff like that as well. Has keening basically disappeared? Do you mean like keening, like that the video I did, the Banshee and stuff like that, keening? Is that what you mean, Ostrab? Okay, I'm just looking at the chat, guys, here to see. Now, I want to know your opinion on. I've done a video before, true crime video. Now, it didn't get that many views. I was hoping it would have got more views, because of, not for me or the channel, but for the simple reason is of the girl I did that was murdered, for her to get noticed and the story to get noticed and maybe get out there as well. I was hoping it would have got more attention. Now, you see, I don't know. I was just thinking, what's your outlook on the true crime stuff? Would you rather I do a couple of true crimes thrown in here and there, old cemetery stuff? Well, that's what I'm trying, and maybe famous graves. I just try. That's why the name the channel is Grave Visitation. So I'm hoping to try and mix it up and try and just kind of experiment on a couple of different things to see how they go. And I hope that you might be able to watch a couple of true crime stuff as well. They are sad, the true crime ones, but I feel like, it's nice that they're talked about, and the stories told about it and stuff like that, because a lot of these stories get lost in archives and news reports, and they're forgotten about these people. And I'd like to come across an odd one. There is one where I'm going tomorrow, a true crime one, and it's sad, but I was kind of half thinking about doing it. I wasn't sure, so I said I want to know people's opinion. Would they like me to do it? A story in it. It's a sad one. It's like a suicide murder. It's a sad one, but I'm hoping to. What I'm trying to do is try to keep them as clean as I can. These true crime ones, and I'm not going to go into all the gory details, and try and bring it out in my own words here and there as well, and tell it as I go along, and add in a few bits, about it and what my thoughts are on it and stuff like that. So, I want to try and respect these people whose graves I go to when I tell their story as well. So there is sad videos like that, that I'm thinking of doing. There's one tomorrow I'm thinking of doing it. It's not far from a location that I'm going to do the video. So while I'm in the area, I was thinking it'd be worth doing it, and as you know, Dan and Tony and everybody else and stuff, maybe it's different in America or different parts of the world, but when you do a video here in Ireland, you go into a cemetery and you want to try and tell the story when you're on camera and you're going around with the gimbal talking, and there's other people in the cemetery at the same time and they're visiting their loved ones and stuff, or there might be a funeral on at the same time, and all that comes in, plays a part. So I want to try and be able to do these stories when it's quiet in the area, and not interrupt other people as well. So that's the way I kind of look at it as well. I like the video GV posted about the dead guy pretending to be yelling from his casket. I've never come across any video, Chris, like that before. I don't think I have come across anything like that. You know, but it's a crazy world out there, and you just don't know what you're going to come across. David says, I love true crime stories, GV. I'm hoping, David, you had to fit in a couple more of those. Mix up, because I think the channel at the moment, there's subscribers on my channel, some people might like famous graves, some people might like old graveyards, mausoleums, crypts, bit of history. Then you have true crime and stuff. So I'm going to mix it up a bit here and there to try and keep everybody happy and do a few bits here and there like that. So hopefully that's what's in the pipeline. The voice will be coming from the urn, he said, not the casket. Brent liked true crime. Mo says Mo's husband likes true crime. So Sue also, Serenity Sue, if you haven't subscribed to Serenity Sue, check her out also. She's my other half, and we go around together and we video all over Ireland and different parts of Ireland. So if you want to check her out also on YouTube, she does some amazing videos as well and stories. Mix it up, everything you make is great. Thanks, Jan. That video is very funny, says Dorothy. I love the way you take your videos on, so respectful, says Sonia. Thank you, Sonia. Well, the way it is, I suppose, Sonia, is you have to respect where you go into these cemeteries and places like that. These people are dead and gone. And when you do a video, I always think, even when you don't have a video, or a camera in your hand, you respect people's graves when you're there and you're reading them, even if you're off camera. So I think when you're on camera, it should be no different. You should respect people's graves also. Even respect the story. As I was saying, there's a lot of stories, that you come across and they're sad. And there's a lot of stuff in them about, like a true crime where you go into the real kind of, gruesome stuff and all that about, what happened. And that's for other channels to do. I wouldn't really get into that kind of stuff because I feel like, it's a lot to do talking about what happened. And you can, I'll be telling people what happened to these people or whatever, but there might be other stuff that's out there in the news that, they add on to it and stuff like that, say this and that. So there's different stories, and I don't want to go by what other people are saying and stuff like that. I try and find as much as I can out about it and kind of break it down to the way I might want to do it. Hi, Jordan. Didn't get a notification. Yeah, it seems to be the problem, Jordan, at the moment with YouTube. They're back to their old tricks again, but what can you do, guys? All I say is, keep going, keep moving forward, just keep getting out there, doing videos. There's nothing we can do about it at the moment. I've been onto YouTube before till I was blue in the face. I've emailed them, and it seems that it was sorted out, but it just keeps coming back to haunt us, doesn't it, this YouTube thing? So just trying to see. Chris says, have you ever heard of the Somerton man in Australia? They say they believed they solved it after 70 some years. Never heard of it, Chris. No, I never heard of it. Hi, Blue Moon. Blue Moon is here. Guys, I'm just reading the chat. I don't want to miss anything. Scouse is enjoying the chat. Good to hear, guys. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Even when you're coming out of this live, go in and smash that thumbs up button. It helps the channel out a lot, and it brings more people in to our lovely family and community here for everybody to get together. That's what it's all about here with me and Sue's channels. We love interacting with people, chatting, getting out there, doing the videos, bringing the history, you know, to light. So that's what we do. So if you have any questions, guys, fire away. Ask me anything you want. Don't ask me what I had for breakfast or stuff like that, or what color underwear I'm wearing and stuff like that, because that's a bit too much. I'm only joking. Sweet Mary Jeanette, I love wandering around graveyards and old churches. Since a child, I've been attracted to it. As my father used to say, don't be afraid of the dead, it's the living. Very true, sweet Marie Jeanette. I know I've said that for a long time myself. People always say, would you be afraid to sleep in a graveyard at night? Would you be afraid to do an overnight thing or walk in on your own at night? Should never be afraid of the dead. It's the living you have to be afraid of. They're the ones that can harm you. Sonia says, may I ask, is there a special reason why you display a Celtic cross next to a Christian cross? Do you mean the backdrop, Sonia, is it? That's Sue's. I have no idea about that. Stu got that online for doing the lives and stuff like that. It's a backdrop. It's a lovely looking backdrop, actually. It's based on an old cemetery or graveyard with the Celtic cross and stuff like that. So after that, I don't know. But I'm not going to go into the religious side of stuff. I don't get into the religious side of stuff, as you know, guys. It causes too much debate and problems. Religion, politics, don't get into any of that kind of stuff. I've slept in a graveyard. What county are you in, says Marie? I'm in the southeast, Mary, in Wexford, southeast Ireland. Are you from Ireland yourself, Mary? Or what part of the world are you from? The poor people that have been forgotten. It's true, you know. There's a lot of channels out there that do famous graves and stuff like that, and that's all well and good. That's up for themselves. I do an odd one myself, but my whole channel is not based just on famous graves. It's also about remembering the people who are forgotten. These people where you walk into a graveyard and you see a tabletop tomb, a headstone, a chest tomb, or a crypt, or anything where it's covered in ivy, completely covered. And when you move these branches back and all this overgrowth back, and this name on the headstone comes to life, that's what I love. When you walk into an old graveyard and you come across history, a person that died maybe in the famine, it could be a young girl, a young boy that died, stuff like that, and you bring their grave to life when you put it on YouTube. That's what it's all about. It's not just about famous people. We all know famous people. They're always there. They'll never be forgotten, really, a lot of them. They're in the spotlight, a lot, famous people. But don't get me wrong, I'm not against famous people. I like doing famous graves, but I also like uncovering all these old graves where people have been forgotten, and unfortunately there's no more family members left to come and visit their graves. Or also what I like to do is, you're a Dub, Mary, are you? Hopefully we're going to try and get up to Dublin, Mary. We were just talking earlier there about going back to Mount Jerome Cemetery and doing a couple of videos there. We have been there before in Glasnevin as well. But as I was saying, it's nice to uncover all these people and bring them to light who don't have family members around anymore and stuff like that. You know, that's what needs to be done. The sunny southeast. It's sunny at the moment, but hopefully it stays like that. Yeah, Sonia, it is side by side, and I don't know. Maybe it's probably just depicting, I suppose, the different sides of life. I suppose maybe, or something like that. I'd love to come along with you someday. I could take you to some old crypt with full skeletons in view, Mount Jerome. I've seen it, Mary, and I've done it actually. myself and Sue, Serenity Sue, we have done that, Mary. I think I have it up in one of my shorts as well. It was an old mausoleum or vault kind of, and when you look in the door, I think there was a red rose on the outside of the door, but when you look in, there's a full skeleton there, in which is sad to see that it wasn't blocked up really, but obviously, I suppose, when you look at something like that, you'd be thinking to yourself, is there no family around to maybe to come together and maybe block that hole up or whatever? But someone left a flower in it or something, so maybe there's somebody coming to visit there or something. Bring back the people, says Chris, the stories of their lives, whether they are famous or not yet. Well, it's remembering everybody really, because uh, we're all human beings at the end of the day, whether you're famous or you're not famous, or you're rich or you're poor or whatever. Everybody, when we die, we're all going to end up the same way. We'll all end up 6 feet under, or whichever way people have their wishes when they die to be cremated or whatever. We all have to die sometime, and we can't bring it with us. So all we can do is leave good memories behind. And that's why, these people back in the 1800s have left a legacy, with all these inventors, historians, famous people, like the politicians back in the war, anybody that's forgotten that was in the war who fought for their countries, stuff like that have to be remembered. And so everybody all has a different role, I suppose, in life, all these people. And but it's important in every way, no matter whether you're famous or not. Everybody had a role in life. They were all human beings. They loved, they laughed, they cried. They done everything like people do in life. Hit me up. I live close to Mount Jerome, Mary, sweet Mary Jeanette. I will, Mary. The next time we're in Dublin, we'll give you a shout. I think I have an email there. My email address is on my channel somewhere in the About section. So if you ever have any ideas or anything like that, and you want to hit us up for videos or stuff, or if you want to meet up, I've always said it before. If there's anybody living in Ireland that wants to meet up with us, who wants to come on camera and maybe go on a walk with us around on a live or a cemetery live walk or something like that, I'd love to do that and get your opinion on things as well, maybe, or locations that we could do. I'm just trying to see the chat, guys, here. I'm wandering around. Myself and sister were there to attend to family's plot. Thanks, Marie. My family's chatting amongst yourselves, guys. Yes, I do. I have many ideas. I love a walk. There is an old graveyard in Dublin, actually, as well. It's an old Jewish cemetery. An old Jewish cemetery in Dublin as well, that I'd love to see inside that. I don't know if you need a key to go in there. There's a big wall and a kind of a door. You have to get a key maybe to go in there. I'd like to see that cemetery. There's another one then as well called Bully's Acre, I think, in Dublin. And it's supposed to be the oldest one in Ireland, graveyard. Bully's Acre, it's called. It's a really old one there in Dublin as well. You emailed me, Mary, sorry, there's so many Maries in this channel. Sweet Mary Jeanette. I call you Mary. You emailed me. I'll check that out, Mary. Thanks. And I'll get back to you. I'm going to try and plan to trip Ireland, Chris says, next year. I would love to meet you and Sue and go on a walk. And that would be lovely, guys. And we always have plans for stuff like that. We'd love to meet. It's nice talking to your subscribers and, and having a chat through the camera. But it would be lovely to meet these people in person too, to get to know you in person and talk to you, go on a walk around the cemetery and stuff as well. Sonia says, I could listen to you for ages, but I have to go. Next doctor's appointment at 8. Sonia, thanks for coming in. God bless. Take care. And hope everything works out okay for you. And I'm going to jump off this, guys, soon, I think, now as well, because I'm on it about an hour, I think, now. I have bags to pack, exciting things to come up, trips tomorrow. We're going away tomorrow morning early. So some very exciting stuff coming up to look out for, guys. And we will be in touch. Sue, I think, will be live probably Sunday night again. So we'll be on Sunday night for a chat. We'll have a premiere. I'll have a premiere probably coming up. Saturday, I usually do them. Sue will have a premiere Friday night, Serenity Sue. I'll have one probably the night after, Saturday night. Also. So stuff to look out for over the weekend, guys. The premieres, a couple of videos coming up and stuff like that as well. So, guys, I think I will call it a day on that note. And thanks for coming in. And thank you to everybody who hits the like button, who watches our videos and supports the channel. Also, thank you for the super chats, everybody. It really helps a lot. As I was saying, we have a long journey tomorrow. It's going to be close to maybe 4 hours away. It's a long drive, a lot of videoing to do, a lot of editing to do, a lot of history, locations and stuff, homework to do and all that. So we have a lot of stuff coming up. We can discuss Michael Dolan in depth. Maybe I could give you my private number. No problem, Chris. I'll be in touch with you soon. Slán Mokara, Slán Awalya, Ostarab, Regina, girl after my own heart. So thank you guys for coming in. Have a beer, says Jamie. I don't drink, Jamie, believe it or not. I am a pioneer. I don't drink at all. Sue doesn't drink. That's why we're able to get up early in the mornings and get out and do all these videos and go to places. Hi, Romeo, sorry. Have a good trip. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Marie. Thanks, Nadia. Nana D. Hi, Nana D. Thanks, guys, for coming in. Take care. God bless. And I'll talk to you all very, very soon. And hopefully over the weekend, we'll be in touch with you and let you know what's happening as well. And keep in touch. Watch out for the notifications. If you haven't already, guys, just go back in to my channel and make sure that you've hit the bell, the notification bell, and hit the all option on it. It tells you every time I have a video up, it'll notify you of all my uploads. So just double check that you have the bell icon hit and the all symbol is touched also. Chris, if I was drinking, I'd probably be twice as mad, and I'm mad enough as it is and cracked. So the way I am at the moment. So I'm bad enough. Take care, guys. Look out for stuff. Watch out for here and there what we're doing, and wish us luck tomorrow. We're on a long journey and a safe trip. And take care, guys. And I will talk to you all very, very soon. Thank you for coming in. And don't forget to hit the like button, guys. Talk to you very, very soon. Take care. And as I always say, I'll see you when I get my glasses.